Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. So in today's tutorial, this is actually our third tutorial on introduction to web development using Django, Python Django series. So we're simply building a simple note app. So in the last tutorial, being able to register a user, and you have been seeing the user show up in the admin page, right? So in this tutorial, we're going to go ahead and enable login and logout functionality for this tutorial. So for this application rather. So let's go ahead and actually jump into it. So I'm going to go into my VS Code, and once I'm in here, this is where I ended off last time, right? So I'm just going to go ahead in here and close off this. I don't need this anymore. So I don't URL I have here is for the one for the authentication application, right? So in here, that's we're going to go ahead and create the login and the logout functionality see in here. So what I'm simply going to go ahead and do, I'm just going to go ahead and simply go in here, and I'm going to simply go ahead and say from Django .contrib I'm going to go ahead and say .out, and I'm going to go ahead and import out views underscore out views just like that. I hope I haven't made any typing that out. So from Django .out import views. So I'm going to import views as out views. That's what I meant to say. So from Django.contrib import views as out views. Okay, once I have that done, I'm also going to go ahead and say, yeah, that's basically what I need for this. So I'm just going to go ahead, let me try to position it up here. Okay, so once I have that, I'm going to go ahead and use it right here. So I'm going to create another path. So I'm going to create another endpoint, which I'm going to call login // so login // and this is going to be the following. So I'm going to simply say out view this is going to be login view .as, because it's something called the class base view, so you have to say .as view, and in here I want to pass in the template in which I want to use. So the template is going to plain template underscore name is going to be equals to the following. So the template name I want to use is going to be in the out folder instead of our templates folder, and then login .html. So that's the template I want to use for this route, and then I can give it a name. Again, name is going to be login name. Okay, just the name is going to be login. I'm also going to create another path right here. It's going to be called the logout path. So actually, let's actually make sure the login works first, and then once that works, we'll come back to the logout functionality. So let's quickly go and specify this template out, and then login.html. So I'm going to go into my templates out folder, right? Template out folder, and then go into my in here and then create a folder called login.html, just like that. And what I'm going to do, we're going to have it's basically a form in there. So I'm just going to copy all of this code and simply go ahead and paste it in here. That's basically what I need to do. Yeah, that's what I need to do for this to work. So now I'm going to just go ahead and make sure our server is running. It is running. So let's go ahead and try this out. So if I go in here and I go, instead of registration, and I go into let me just say /out /login, and then let me try to access this page. Now you can see I have the login page right here. So I'm just going to type login. I'm just going to say prince and the password that I used in the last tutorial. So pass in that password and then press this. So we have an error right here. So I was expecting this error to happen. This is because we need to add the redirect, where to redirect to after the user has logged in. That's why we're getting this error right here. So we need to go ahead and add in where to redirect the user after the user has logged in. So how do we do that? We simply have to go into our settings of our main file, and then down here you can add it here. So we can simply say login redirect URL, and then specify the endpoint. So we say login underscore redirect underscore URL must be all uppercase. So login redirect URL, I'm going to redirect the user to register the index once the user has logged in. So the index, if I go into my main app .urls, which is this one right here, I'm going to simply sorry, the URLs I think is in URLs. So if I go into authentication, you can see you have the index page, which is just a blank page. I'm going to redirect this to that blank page once the user has logged in. Okay, so also have the login URL. So this login URL is also important for whenever you try to register to access external resource that requires us to be logged in, right? If you don't have, you have to provide in this login URL to tell the user where we will direct the user to log in. For example, let's say that I'm not logged into our note app and I try to create a note, right? I can't do that unless I'm logged in. So if I try to access that functionality of creating a note while I'm not logged in, we need to tell Django where to redirect the user, because the user must first go and log in and then be able to create a note, right? So Django will redirect the user to a given page where the user can log in and then be able to create, and then after logging, the user will get redirected to a page where can be able to create the note, and the note that he wanted to create initially. So this login underscore URL, so login URL, so underscore URL equals to, and then specify a part called login, which is this part that we have in here called login, right? If I go here, we have it login here. So if a user tries to access any page that requires the user to be logged in, then he'll be directed to this route where the user can log in. Okay, so now you have that done, let me go ahead and go back in here and let me check if my server is running. Let me just restart the server again. So it's running right now, so let me just go ahead and refresh this. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass in my name and the password that I need to provide. So I'm going to pass in my password here and then login. So if I log in now, you can see that we don't get any error, we get redirected to this main page right here. Good. So the login functionality works. Okay, so once the user is logged in, what else do we need to do? And before we continue, I want to do something very simple right here. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and change a few things about our template right here. So I want to go ahead and if you go to the registration page right now, so if I go into /register, and if I go in, you can see right now, what if I'm registered and I just want to log in? I want to keep a description right here to allow the user to be able to log in case they're already logged in and don't need to register. So let me just go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm just going to go back inside of here, go inside of my registration here, and then under the forms, you're going to have a p tag right here. So we're going to have a p tag, and then let me close all that off, and you're going to have a class to this. So we're going to say class, and the class is going to be the font. So we're going to say text hyphen center, and then you're going to now say margin top is going to be of 2. We're going to margin top of 2, and then you're going to say if you're already logged in, if you're already registered, if you can say if you are already registered, if you already have an account or something like that, and then in here you're going to go ahead and keep an anchor tag, an anchor tag right here. We say a, and this is going to have href, and the href is just going to go ahead and be we can say /out /login. So the user can just go ahead and log in if he already has an account. So /login right there. So once I have that, I'm just going to go ahead and end that anchor tag, and then in here we're just going to say login. Let me just say login right here. So let me just check if that looks as we expect it to. So let me just refresh the page. Yeah, so you can see login right here, and if I click on this, it takes me back to the login page, and I want to do the same thing for my login, but now it will point to register. Okay, so I'm just going to go here, copy this code, and then find my login template, and then simply paste it right here. So paste it, and then you can just say this is going to be register just like that. And then if you need account, so I'm just going to change this to be if you need an account. So if you need an account, you can simply go ahead and get an account there. So you can just change this to be register, right? So register, just like that. So once I have that, let's actually check if this works. So I'm just going to hit refresh, and you can see we have here. So if I click on register, we don't actually get that route. So authentication, this is going to be register and not registered. Okay, so register, just change that to be register, and once I have that, I can just go in here and refresh this. So just go back and then hit this, so you get back to the registration page, and if you click on this, it has the login page. Okay, that's all I want. So let me just keep a bit of spacing here. So if I go in here, just refresh this, now you can see the space there. So great, so that works fine. So what I want to go ahead and do right now is actually create a login page once the user has logged in. But let me show you something. We can go into the main page. So if I go into the main.html, we can keep some logic in here that can control what the user sees, whether the user is logged in or is not logged in. So we can keep some logic here to do that for us. So I'm just going to go here and specify a couple of things. So I'm just going to go in here. So in here, what we need to do is we need to control what we display depending on whether the user is logged in or not. So to do this, I'm going to keep a code block here and keep in some logic here. So when we say if user .is underscore authenticated. Right, so user is just something that Django provides us with default. We don't have to work to get it, so we just have to say we just have to use it. We don't have to actually know what user is, but user referring to the currently user that is using the application, right? So if it's logged in, then we want to do something else. We want to go ahead and do something else, right? I want to end for now. I want to just end the if, and then I'm going to keep the else block here. So let's say else. So if the user is logged in, what we can do, we can display to the user the maybe like if the user is logged in, we can display the create post or something like that. And if the user is not logged in, what we can do is just simply display some buttons. In this case going to be a login button, and we can also display a registration button to the end user. So I'm going to copy this and simply paste that here as well. So we have the login and the login and the registration button, right? So if the user is not logged in, the user has the option to either login or register. So where does this point to? And this point to something something on in here. So we have to use a bit of strange syntax in here. So you have to use a code block inside of this double quotes, inside of this href quotes. So I would say URL, and then you're going to go ahead and say login. So sorry, URL and then string and then login, and login is the name of this route right here. So if I go back to this page, we have the login route here, the login route, and then the other route is the registration route. So I'm just going to copy the registration route, and I'm going to go into main.html, and then in here I'm going to go ahead and simply say code block right here, and simply pass in the following. So pass in the following and say URL, and then you're going to simply pass in the register button right here. So those are the two things that you want. So this is going to depending of either the user is logged in or not. So if the user is logged in, we can go ahead and add other stuff here like the logout, the create new posts and stuff like that. So for now, let's actually go ahead and see if this is working. Let's check if our server is running. It is running. So let's go ahead and simply refresh this page right now. So right now the user is logged in, that's why it has this right here. So let's go ahead and actually create the logout routes. Okay, so to create the logout route, I'm just going to go into my URLs, and in here I'm just going to go ahead and simply go down here and simply create another path. So path, another endpoint basically, and in here I'm just going to have the following. So I'm going to have the following in here, and it's going to be logout and then / so just like that. And then you're going to go ahead and have a couple of things in here. So we're going to simply pass in out views.logout view. So this is something that Django provides us by default. So you can have the logout view, and then you can pass in which template we want to use. So template, and the template underscore name is going to be equals to, we can say logout. So it's going to be out / logout logout.html, and then for us then once we have that, we can pass in the name of that, and the name is going to be simply log out, just like that. So once we have that, that's all we need for this to set up this and to get this running. So that's basically what I needed to provide in those two places. So now let's go ahead and actually create a logout route. So I'm going to go ahead and simply create another HTML file. I'm going to simply call it logout.html, and just press enter in there. So we're going to simply go ahead and get the logout template. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this from my GitHub page, so we don't spend a lot of time on this. So I'm just going to go ahead and go into my section of templates, and then go into out, and then I'll find the logout template which I want to use. So logout template, and I'm simply going to go ahead and copy the contents. It's something very small, so I'm just going to go ahead and simply copy it and simply go ahead and paste it in here. So you can just pause the video and type this out. If you have any issues, you can let me know. So this is basically it. So if you log out the user, you're going to say, you're just going to tell the user that the logout, you're just going to say logged out, and then you have been logged out, then login again, this login again button right here. So that's all I wanted that to do. So once I have that done, I can go ahead and simply add it to our template. So if I go back to our templates and I go into the main template, so just close this one and go into the main template. So if the user is logged in, you can have the logout button being displayed. So just going to go ahead and simply copy this and simply paste it in here, and this is going to be logout, and there's going to be logout. So going to have logout here. So logout, and then that's all I need to do. So once I have that, I can simply go in here and just go in here and then refresh this page. So I can see now I have logout, so I can log out, and now I don't have the template logout.html. So let me check the template name. Maybe I provided the wrong name. So logout, so this is logout, .html. Okay, so once I have this, let me just go ahead and refresh this page. So now you can find now you have been logged out. So once you can click login again, and you should direct us back here, and you can click login also, direct us here, register, direct us here. And let me just go ahead and try to log in again. So I'm just going to log in with this information, and then now my password, right? So providing my password right here. And once I'm done, I can just click on this one. I'm logged in right now, and you can see I have the logout option. So logout, and now I'm logged out. So great, now we have the login and logout functionality working. So now what's left is that once the user has been able to log in, now we should be able to now create form. So we should have say so if the user is logged in now, the user should be able now, there should be another button here, create form, where the user can go ahead and fill a form, and then have the to-do notes being displayed right there, the title of the to-do and the content of that not the title of the app, the title of the note, and then the content of the note. Okay, and then how the user can have a ability to delete or to update those note functionality. So yeah, that's all for this tutorial, where we have been able to create the simple user registration, login and logout functionality. Yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in this tutorial. So see you in the next tutorial. And again, if you're new to the channel, please kindly consider subscribing to the YouTube channel, liking this video, and sharing the content with anyone you think might find it helpful. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Keep safe.